You should know the pricing calculator and the total cost of ownership calculator and how they compare and contrast. Let's take a look. First off, you have the Azure pricing calculator. This is going to estimate the costs of operation. The total cost of ownership calculator is a little bit different. What it does is it compares your current on-premises infrastructure costs, including capital expenditures like hardware and ongoing costs, things like that, to projected costs within Azure. The pricing calculator is for execution and granular Azure costs, while the TCO calculator is for strategic migration planning and business justification. The Azure pricing calculator is going to be involved with what's called operational expenditures, or OpEx. These are ongoing expenses with Azure resources. Whereas the total cost of ownership calculator is going to measure capital expenditures, which is the comparison to on-prem expenses. You won't be able to access either of these calculators inside Microsoft Azure, so just do a Google search for each of them. So in this case, you can see I've got the Azure pricing calculator, and it's going to estimate some costs for me. Let's add an estimate for virtual machines. So I'll click Add to Estimate. And now I'm going to scroll down, and it's going to give me some options for my virtual machine, such as the region that I'm in. So go ahead and choose whatever region is closest to you. Now, not all the regions are going to be able to handle virtual machines. So you're going to see some regions are missing. But that's all right. We'll just choose the one that we want. And it's going to go ahead and update. Now we're going to choose the operating system. You can choose Linux, Windows, and then you can choose the OS type. In this case, I'm going to choose the OS only. You could also choose BizTalk or SQL. And then the tier, basic or standard. After that, we've got the category, the type of use. I'm going to choose general purpose, but you've got multiple options. And then the instance series, this is going to have to do with your processor. So if you want a specific processor, you can choose that here. Next, you can choose the instance. So you hit the drop down. This gives you the amount of RAM, hard drive space, and how many virtual cores you're going to use. I'm going to say I want to choose 2 cores, and I'll say 14 gigabytes of RAM and 600 gigabytes of temporary storage. Now, how many virtual machines do you want? I'll just choose the one, and you can see the standard 730 hours in a month. And then say you would like to include the license or choose the Azure Hybrid benefit. And this provides a discount in an Azure Hybrid type of environment with on-premises. I'll choose the pay-as-you-go. But you can see you can also prepay and save some money. You can choose a reserved option, which is going to save you even more money. But you can see the total amount of estimate at this point is $525 a month. Now, it could end up costing you a lot more if you use the server very heavily, such as adding applications, a lot of users connect to it, maybe you set up a VPN tunnel. You could also save money by shutting down the virtual machine every night. Then it might be a lot less than the $525. You can also add additional storage, which would also add additional cost as well. These concepts are pretty straightforward in the AZ-900 exam. You won't have to go too deep into the details, just have a high-level view of the various different differences and comparisons between these two calculators here.